Hello everyone, my name is Lena and welcome back to my channel, Timeless New York City, dedicated to all things New York City. While preparing my last video, which you can click on the title card above to watch, I stumbled upon an event that piqued my curiosity, the upcoming New York City Fashion Week this February. Intrigued, I delved deeper into its rich history and transformation over the years. Whether you're planning to be there in person, tuning in from home, or simply share my passion for the history behind iconic events, this video is tailor-made for you. Stay with me as we explore the evolution of New York City Fashion Week. So grab your most stylish outfit and let's embark on a journey through the history of New York Fashion Week. The 1940s, the birth of New York Fashion Week. Our story begins in the 1940s, during World War II. The 1940s marked a pivotal moment in the world of fashion, particularly with the onset of World War II. During this era, Paris, which was universally acknowledged as the epicenter of fashion, found itself in a challenging position due to the Nazi occupation. This unforeseen circumstance inadvertently opened doors for American designers, who had previously been overshadowed by their Parisian counterparts. It was in this context that Eleanor Lambert, a prominent fashion publicist, saw a unique opportunity. Recognizing the need to showcase American designers and their work, Lambert organized an event in 1943 that would forever change the landscape of fashion in the United States. This event was the inaugural Press Week in New York City. Press Week was a strategic and bold move. Until then, American fashion designers were largely influenced by the trends set in Paris. However, with the European fashion scene disrupted by the war, American designers were suddenly in the spotlight. Press Week was specifically designed to attract the attention of the American press, which, until that point, primarily focused on Paris for the latest in fashion trends. The event was held at the Plaza Hotel in New York City, a location that added a sense of prestige and glamour. It was a well-planned and executed showcase, featuring the works of American designers in a series of fashion shows. These shows were attended by fashion journalists from across the country, many of whom had never before had the opportunity to attend a fashion event of this scale. The impact of the 1943 Press Week was immediate and significant. For the first time, American designers were featured in major fashion publications, receiving recognition and acclaim for their unique and innovative designs. This was a stark departure from the past, where American fashion was often seen as a mere imitation of European trends. Eleanor Lambert's Press Week not only provided a platform for American designers during a time of crisis, but also laid the foundation for what would eventually become the New York Fashion Week as we know it today. This event was instrumental in shifting the focus of the fashion world from Paris to New York, marking the beginning of a new era in fashion where American designers would play a pivotal role. The success of Press Week led to its establishment as a regular event, gradually evolving into the globally recognized New York Fashion Week we know today. The 1950s, the emergence of American style. In the 1950s, the American fashion industry began to carve out its own identity, distinct from European influences. This was a time of economic prosperity in the United States, and fashion became a way for Americans to express their newfound optimism and confidence. The fashion shows in New York started to attract more attention, not just from the national press, but also from international audiences. Designers like Bill Blass began to make their mark during this era. Blass, known for his sophisticated and wearable designs, brought a sense of practical elegance to American fashion. His work was a departure from the more formal and structured European styles, reflecting the relaxed and confident spirit of America in the post-war years. The 1960s, a decade of revolution and innovation. The 1960s were a time of cultural and social revolution, and these changes were reflected in the fashion industry. New York Fashion Week became a platform for showcasing not just clothing, but also the shifting attitudes and lifestyles of the time. Anne Klein emerged as a significant figure in American fashion during this period. She was instrumental in introducing the concept of separates, coordinated but individual pieces that could be mixed and matched, which revolutionized women's wardrobes. Klein's designs were not only stylish but also practical and accessible, aligning perfectly with the needs of the modern American woman. Another notable designer of this era was Pauline Trégère, who brought a unique blend of American practicality and European elegance to her designs. Trégère was known for her exquisite tailoring and innovative use of fabrics. Her designs were both timeless and avant-garde, and she was particularly celebrated for her evening wear and coats. The role of New York Fashion Week. During these 2 decades, New York Fashion Week evolved from being a mere showcase of American designers to becoming a critical platform for setting global fashion trends. The event started to draw in a more diverse range of designers, including those who were experimenting with new materials, styles, and concepts. This period saw the introduction of more casual and youth-oriented styles, reflecting the broader cultural shifts of the time. The 1950s and 1960s were crucial in establishing the United States, and specifically New York, as a center of fashion innovation and creativity. The groundwork laid during these decades set the stage for the explosive growth and global influence that New York Fashion Week would achieve in the years to follow. 1970s, the dawn of inclusivity and experimentation. The 1970s marked a period of significant change in the fashion world, and New York Fashion Week was at the forefront of this transformation. This era was characterized by a push towards inclusivity and diversity, both in terms of the models on the runway and the styles being showcased. During this time, New York Fashion Week began to break away from traditional norms and embraced a wider range of models, including people of color and non-traditional beauty standards. This shift was reflective of the broader social and cultural movements of the time, which advocated for equality and representation. The fashion shows became more reflective of the diverse society, resonating with a wider audience and making fashion more accessible and relatable. In terms of style, the 1970s were all about experimentation and breaking the mold. Designers played with bold colors, unconventional materials, and new silhouettes. There was a noticeable move away from the formal and structured styles of the previous decades, embracing instead a more relaxed and individualistic approach to fashion. The 1980s, the age of bold statements and global appeal. The 1980s took the boldness of the previous decade to new heights. It was an era defined by strong statements in fashion, with designers like Calvin Klein and Ralph Lauren becoming iconic figures. Calvin Klein was known for his minimalist and sophisticated designs, which were both modern and timeless. He was also a pioneer in using fashion as a form of branding, making his name synonymous with a certain lifestyle. Ralph Lauren, on the other hand, was instrumental in defining American style through his designs. His work often drew inspiration from a variety of American themes, from the Old West to the preppy East Coast. Lauren's designs were not just about clothes. They were about creating a narrative and a sense of identity. New York Fashion Week during the 1980s also began to attract a more global audience. The event was no longer just a national showcase, but was now a significant date on the international fashion calendar. Designers from around the world started to participate, and the event garnered extensive media coverage, further cementing New York's status as a new fashion capital. The 1970s and 1980s were transformative decades for New York Fashion Week and the fashion industry as a whole. The event played a crucial role in democratizing fashion, making it more inclusive and diverse. It also set the stage for American designers to influence global fashion trends. The boldness and creativity displayed during these decades laid the groundwork for New York Fashion Week to become the influential and globally recognized event it is today. The 1990s, the supermodel phenomenon. The 1990s marked a significant shift in the world of fashion, particularly at New York Fashion Week, where the era of the supermodel took center stage. This decade was not just about the clothes. It was equally about the charismatic and glamorous figures who wore them. Supermodels like Naomi Campbell, Cindy Crawford, Linda Evangelista, and Christy Turlington became household names, their presence on the runway as pivotal as the designs they showcased. Naomi Campbell, with her striking looks and powerful runway presence, broke barriers in the fashion industry, particularly for women of color. Cindy Crawford, known for her all-American beauty and approachable charm, became a cultural icon, transcending the boundaries of fashion to become a global celebrity. Linda Evangelista, famous for her chameleon-like ability to transform, was known for her statement, "We don't wake up for less than $10,000 a day," epitomizing the supermodel status in the 90s. The Fashion Week as a cultural phenomenon. During this time, New York Fashion Week transcended its role as a trade event and became a part of popular culture. The supermodels were not just muses for designers. They were integral to the storytelling of fashion. Their personalities and individual styles brought a new dimension to the fashion shows, making each walk down the runway a moment to remember. The shows themselves became grander and more theatrical. Designers and brands began to realize the immense potential of New York Fashion Week as a platform not just for showcasing fashion, but for creating spectacular, media-friendly events. This was the era when fashion shows started to be about creating moments that were as much about spectacle as they were about the clothes. The legacy of the 1990s. The 1990s supermodel phenomenon at New York Fashion Week represented more than just a shift in fashion. It was a cultural movement. The supermodels of this era were more than just faces. They were powerful influencers in their own right, with the ability to sway trends and public opinion. Their legacy continues to influence the fashion industry with the concept of celebrity models, and the fusion of fashion with entertainment and business still prevalent today. The 2000s present digital revolution and beyond. As the world entered the 2000s, the digital revolution began to reshape many industries, and fashion was no exception. New York Fashion Week experienced a significant transformation during this period, primarily driven by the advent of social media and digital technology. Social media platforms like Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter brought New York Fashion Week to the fingertips of a global audience. No longer was the event confined to the select few who could attend in person. Now, anyone with an internet connection could be a part of the Fashion Week experience. This democratization of fashion was a game changer, allowing designers to reach a broader audience and giving the public a behind-the-scenes look at the world of high fashion. Live streaming of fashion shows became a norm, breaking down the barriers of exclusivity that had surrounded these events. This not only increased the reach of New York Fashion Week, but also allowed for immediate feedback and engagement from the audience, creating a more interactive experience. The age of inclusivity and diversity. Another significant evolution in New York Fashion Week has been the move towards greater inclusivity and diversity. This has been evident in the range of designers showcased, the models walking the runway, and the styles represented. New York Fashion Week has become a platform for designers from diverse backgrounds, and there has been a conscious effort to include models of all sizes, ages, and ethnicities. This shift towards inclusivity has made New York Fashion Week a more representative and relatable event for a wider audience. New York Fashion Week as a cultural phenomenon. Today, New York Fashion Week is much more than just a fashion event. It's a cultural phenomenon that continues to influence not just the fashion industry, but also broader trends in society. It's a platform where art, culture, technology, and social issues converge, reflecting and sometimes shaping the zeitgeist. The impact of New York Fashion Week extends beyond the runways, influencing street fashion, pop culture, and even the way we think about issues like sustainability and inclusivity. As we move further into the 21st century, New York Fashion Week continues to evolve, embracing new challenges and opportunities, and maintaining its position as a leading force in the global fashion industry. From its inception during wartime to its current status as a beacon of fashion innovation, New York Fashion Week has truly come a long way. What's your favorite era in New York Fashion Week history? Let me know in the comments below. I hope you found this video as enjoyable and informative as I did while researching and bringing it to you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more of my timeless New York City content. If you want to know more about me, you can visit me on my other channel, Lina Rates Movies and TV Shows. Thank you for watching. Until next time, keep strutting your stuff and stay stylish.